All right. Just give it a quick moment here. Let me get set up. Let me make sure that everything looks good. All right, and let me know if the sound is all right. I got a fan on in here. Just with all the different electronics, it gets a little warm in here, so just give me 1 second and I will get things started. All right, so let's do this now. What's up, everyone? It is Klaus, Family, Hobbies, and Cards. And yes, today we are talking all things stellar. That's the name of the live stream, and that is exactly what the point of today is. If you missed the first few, they were a blast. We had tons of participation, tons of good news that came out there, lots of great interaction from the fans. And real quick, if you see me looking right over here, okay, right over here, don't worry, I have a secondary display. This is my heads up display where I'm able to type back all my feedback things to you guys and keep up with the conversations. So we are getting real close here. I know I said 11:55, but I was hopefully, I really wanted it to be noon, but I wanted it at 11:45 or 11:55. So screw it, let's start. All right, so first things first with Stellar that's been happening recently, okay? One of the little nuggets that I wanted to start off with, and again, if you missed the beginning of this, don't worry. I'm going to have this live stream loaded in the live stream folder when it's completed. So don't worry, even if you missed the beginning, we got your back. All right, so let's start it off. The first nugget that we have to go over with, and this is something I'm keeping an eye out for on the investment side of Stellar, okay? Because there's two different sides, right? There's Stellar as a mission, which I believe in terms of their remittance, peer-to-peer, and how they're helping people with money. But there's also, for me, the Lumens XLM investor side, where I want to know, hey, what is happening with my investment? How is everything looking? And what is the future shaping up to look like? Awesome. Okay, so let's start off here. And this is going to refer to the XLM investment side of things, okay? So let's look at it right now. Protocol 18, which enables the creation of automated market makers on Stellar, is coming. Awesome. If you develop on Stellar, you need to install up-to-date versions of all Stellar-related software prior to, this is the key, right? This is the key we need to see, prior to the November 3rd upgrade vote. Okay, November 3rd upgrade vote. That's one. Okay, so November 3rd, that is the timeline that I am looking for. Okay, and I'm not talking about selling. I'm not talking about buying. I'm looking for some sort of opportunity, maybe on a bigger scale, for me to jump in and see if I can maybe pick something up over maybe a price explosion with a correction, or there's going to be a correction first and then the explosion. I'm keeping my options open, and I'm really looking at that November 3rd time frame to see what happens around that time. So if you are a Stellar Lumens investor and you're here just short term, okay, which is okay, you can hang out with the channel short term. I mean, I'd rather you hang out long term with us, but I mean, yeah, if you're just here to get news on Stellar and do some short term money making, dude, props to you. That November 3rd date's probably a good one for you to kind of anchor your attention span around. We've seen around other protocol votes that the price has had quite a bit of movement around those. So if you are looking for a short-term play on Stellar, check out this. Yep, the November 3rd upgrade vote on Protocol 18. All right, and for those of you that have joined us, yes, please hit the comments. I got the laptop right here. I've got my main studio PC here and another monitor up here. So if you see me looking all over the place, I'm trying to keep up with everything that's going on, trying to make this experience as good and as fun as I can for you. So please go in the comments section, right? Put your name down. Let me know who's here. If you've got a question, if you've got a comment regarding Stellar, let's hear it. This is what this is for. This is why we're doing the live streams at different times of the day, to capture different audiences so that I'm fair with everyone out there and I'm giving you all of my attention that, yep, you deserve. All right, so let's keep rolling on to Stellar's Twitter feed. All right, 17 hours ago, Joined Stellar Development Foundation, VP of Ecosystem, Justin Rice. Now, real quick, I had an article with Justin Rice, and it talked about how he was tackling stuff with remittances, and it had to do with the wallet, and it had to do with a lot of technical stuff. It was really interesting, and the way he explained stuff was really, really impressive. So, I mean, if you're looking for some tech, but explained really well regarding Stellar, Justin, he explains things very well. Might be something worthwhile for you to look at. And again, that was 8 p.m. this morning. I guarantee you they're going to have a replay of it. So if you're interested in the replay of that, yes, definitely check that out. All right. Ooh. Look at that. So now, Stellar, we got more here. Oh, here we go. More Protocol 18 vote here. Developers blog. Yep. Lots of good stuff here with Stellar. As you see, Protocol 18 is going to be a big one. And remember, November 3rd is the upgrade vote, okay? So if you are a Stellar fan and you are a short-term trader, that November 3rd date is a big one for you. All right. But let's talk about some of the big stuff, okay? Let's talk about Moneygram. Let's talk about why the whole Moneygram thing is such a big deal here, because it's bigger than I think what most people realize. So I have a picture up on the screen right now. You're gonna see it. It is a map of the world, okay? In blue, and actually let's preface this one little bit here. This map, all right, or this visual here up on the screen shows global payments, okay? These are payment transactions made peer-to-peer or payments made to businesses, okay? In blue is cash and in orange is non-cash, okay? So like on the bottom here where you see Latin America, that is telling us that 91% of the transactions, yes, 91% of all of their transactions are cash, where only 9%, right, are cards. How crazy is that, okay? So Stellar's mission is to go to these places that are underbanked, okay? And you're gonna see that just like this, just like Latin America, Africa, Asia, Pacific, emerging, Eastern Europe. There are huge opportunities where the unbanked or underbanked, right, or cash-served societies are getting screwed with remittance fees, all right? And that's where Stellar comes into play. And that's where Stellar Development Foundation has the right idea. And that's where they're going forward, okay? They're tackling these cash-based societies, all right? The ones that are super heavy in blue, and trying to provide them with the banking technology that exists to, you know, let's be honest here, that exists to most of us listening right now, and most of us listening are in this North American Europe thing, where we have the opportunities to quick lending facilities. We have the opportunities to quick money transfers without high costs, right? We can send stuff through PayPal and so forth because we have bank accounts. Well, these cash-based societies, they don't have access to that, okay? So what they have to do, they have to go to companies like Moneygram, all right? They have to go to companies like Moneygram, and the problem with Moneygram and companies like Moneygram, Western Union, any of those other peer-to-peer payment processors, it's the fees that people are paying, all right? People are paying anywhere from 7 to 14%. Yes, that is exactly what you heard. And I did a video on this. Again, if you're interested in this stuff, search the page, find the stuff out. Dude, we've got like over 200 videos on this channel. So, you know, for the people out there that, you know, are hating and saying, oh, you know, you don't know what you're talking about, dude, I have done so much more research than probably anyone else out there doing this on the channel, because this is all we really cover heavily is Stellar. So, but yes, let's get back to that. Let's get back to the remittances part of it. And again, hello to anyone that has joined. I've got you up on the screen right here. If you're here, say hi, type it in. I will type something back. If you got a question, type it, and yeah, I'll answer it. We'll talk about it. But yes, remittances, all right, and Moneygram. So getting back to it, right? These societies here, okay, where they're heavy in blue, low in orange, these societies are paying huge amounts in fees to send money remittance-wise. And Greg chiming in, hello, Captain. What's up, Greg? How are you doing, man? I'm gonna type back right to you, because gotta love the fans. All right. So yes, let's talk about that. Okay, so these societies right here, right, they're paying anywhere from 7 to 14% of fees on their remittances. And if you don't know what a remittance is someone, okay, that is now leaving their native country, okay? So let's just pretend we've got someone down here, we've got them in Brazil, they leave Brazil, they want to work in the United States. While they're in the United States, they're sending money back to their family in Brazil. That is remittance, okay? That is where these MoneyGram, Western Union, and other peer-to-peer money transfer services are charging these people 7 to 14%. Well, and you're going to sit there and you're going to be like, well, Klaus, is this a big market? Is this a big opportunity for Stellar? A bunch of the videos that I talk about are in relation to Stellar and building to scale, all right? So we're talking about 7 to 14% of fees on remittances. How big is the remittance market in these countries? Well, I got a graphic for you, and you're probably going to dig this. All right, check this out, man. India right now, okay, so this is 2020. We're getting new data out regarding the Rona year. We all know about that one, whatever, it happens, okay? So let's look at this, right? So we talk about remittances, 7 to 14%. Just remember that, 7 to 14%. So let's just say 10%. Let's cut her down the middle and let's say 10%. All right. So Live It Right says, we all know about Protocol 18, November 13th. Live It Right, dude, Live It Right. I hope you are watching. Check it out. Go on Stellar's page. It is November 3rd. I don't know if that was a typo, Live It, but dude, check it out. I've got it right up here on the screen. It is November 3rd. In case you didn't hear it, I'm putting it up on the chat up there for you, just so you don't miss out, because that could be a huge trading opportunity for us. So let's go back. Let's talk about money and remittances, okay? So again, companies are charging these people 10%. So what you see up on the screen, okay? So for instance, in the year 2020, India sent $83 billion was sent from workers who worked outside of India and sent money back home to their families. So 83 billion, and now we're talking about 10% of that. That means 8.3 billion. 8.3 billion is spent in fees. Yes, spent in fees to give companies like MoneyGram and Western Union, right, those fees to send money back home to their family. Now, let's be honest here, okay? These fees and these families, the families need the money, all right? Families where remittances and where these cash-based societies are huge, okay? These families where the local economies are so poor where they have to leave their native country to then send money back home. These countries, the end users, the families, the kids, right? The spouses that are still back at home, the aunts, the uncles, the grandparents that are taking care of the kids' family while they're off to work, they need the money. All right, so it's super important, and that's why Stellar's mission is exactly this, right? They want to take some of that, right, that 10% in India that's going to Western Union to MoneyGram. They're saying, hey, no, that should go more to the end user. That should go more to the person. Let's work on that. All right, let's catch up with comments. And again, hello. If you missed the beginning of the live stream, don't worry. I'll have it posted up on the page in the live stream playlist. But let's catch up with the comments right now. We got Kathy Topia, brand new to crypto at 56. I put 100 in Bitcoin and 50 into XLM to get my feet wet. Kathy, I got a saying on this channel, and I stole it from someone else. I don't remember who I stole it from. I think everyone's stolen it from everyone. The best time to invest was yesterday. The second best time to invest is today, right now. So seeing that you got into Bitcoin and seeing that you got into XLM, I am super glad to see it. A bit of strategy, just throwing it out there for you. Don't panic, all right? Kathy, a lot of us on this channel have been riding the crypto roller coaster for a while, okay? Kathy, we are seeing 20 to 30 to 40% gains and losses like that. So when you see these big swings, okay, I don't want you to panic. I want you to think that is how the crypto market works, all right? It is very different than equities. Equities has circuit breakers where if prices fall too quickly, the circuit breakers will stop, allow traders to kind of gather their positions, gather their thoughts, see where they want to go forward and move. Crypto does not have that. Crypto will flash crash and so forth. And Kathy chiming in, hello from Roswell, New Mexico. That is a great place to be. I was actually I don't want to say now Roswell, but I was in southwest Colorado. I was driving through like Panhandle, Texas, so I was in that kind of desert mountain area. Really beautiful, picturesque area out there. Super dry, but beautiful place. So, and we got Marquise hopping in, Englewood. Englewood. Yep, I remember Marquise. Don't worry, buddy. I got you, dude. So Marquise hopping in. All right, so again, let's get back, okay, to these remittances, and this is where Stellar comes into play, okay? So again, let's look at India. 83 billion is sent back home via remittances. Western Union MoneyGram taxes them 10%, which means $8.3 billion flows into the businesses, not the end user. So where Stellar comes in, when they charge their 0.00001 transfer fee, think about that, right? Their transfer fee is fractions of a penny versus 10%. Okay, so I want you to think about this on a big, big scale. If $83 billion in 1 year, and this is one country of India, is sent back home with remittances, think of all those transactions, think of all the processing stuff, right? Think of all the fees, all the delays in time, because remember, ACH transfers suck. They're slow. They're crap, right? I mean, we've seen it. There's delays regarding these payment structures. I mean, if any of you guys have ever tried to close on a house, it is not the easiest thing to do wire transfers. The steps are crazy. It is, there was rules too. Like I was closing on my house when I moved out here a few years ago, and you know, we ended up paying for our house, and the hassle I had to go through was crazy. And with Stellar Lumens XLM, that as a utility, that is going to make that so much better and so much easier for all of us out there. And again, let's look at some more examples to see exactly what we're talking about with opportunity and scale. And real quick, if you just joined on, hello from the Family Hobbies and Cards team. If you got a question, hit it up in the chats. We're talking all things Stellar. We're going over remittances right now. And if you missed the beginning, no worries. I will have it in the playlist. Yep, the live stream playlist. And hopefully, and let me know too, there should not be commercials on this live stream. If you guys are running into commercials, let me know. What I want to do is I also want to disable commercials, because I really want the live stream to be about us. I don't want you to wait 5, 10, 15 seconds to miss out on a live stream, because we all know it is kind of a pain in the butt to go backwards. So let me know if this is doing it without commercials, or if you had to watch them coming in. I'm trying to tweak all the settings to make it more appropriate for you. Okay. So let's look back at this example, and we're gonna look at Mexico. Okay, $42 billion sent back in remittances, 10%. That's $4.2 billion. 4.2 billion that just gets swallowed up by fees, screwing over families. Okay, so when Stellar did this project, right, they did a project with AirTM. Now check this out. Okay, so let's go into Stellar. Let's go to AirTM. Okay. So Stellar Development releases Enterprise Fund, 15 million in AirTM. And if you're wondering why I get so excited about Stellar, it's real excitement. It's real excitement because I believe in the mission, and because I've been following Stellar now for so long, and in such like a heavy depth mode that like I'm really starting to get the vibe of how things are going. But let's get back to this, all right? Stellar Development Foundation Enterprise Fund invests 15 million in AirTM, all right? Supporting the expansion of AirTM's blockchain payment platform and multi-currency transactions. Okay, so again, right, what did we talk about? Cash-based societies, okay, right here. Now, granted, right, we've got Mexico, you know, on this graphic here, okay, I'm going to be honest with you. The North America, they're not counting anything here. I'm just shooting it to you out there, right? They're geography people, I don't know what the heck they teach in schools nowadays. I have seen what they teach my kids, so I'm just going to kind of throw this out there and refresh. And Kathytopia, thank you. You have not seen a commercial. Good. That is why I don't want you guys to see commercials. I want you to see this, and I want you to see questions. All right. So again, right, Latin America, Mexico. Look at that. 91% of transactions are cash. Going to the store, right, paying for gas, groceries, utility bills. Yeah, you know that in a lot of Latin America, South America countries, you actually have to go to places where you pay your utility bills in cash through a service. Yeah, and then they charge you a fee on that. So again, people getting screwed in cash-based societies, all right? So Stellar comes in. They are expanding in these economic environments, right? These ones right here where you see it's high blue, low percentage of orange, heavy cash-based dominant societies. That is where Stellar is getting involved, all right? So again, that is why you see these articles tackling these cash-based societies, all right? So that's Stellar. That's remittances. Did I do a good enough job explaining it? Because I think a lot of people get lost, right? I've seen a lot of comments with people saying to me, well, Klaus, I mean, I can't wait to see Stellar being used, business to pay for stuff at businesses. Yeah, I mean, right? It's going to happen. There's going to be different cryptos you're going to be able to use to buy, common goods and so forth. But the real benefit, right? The real allure of Stellar and why I really love this project is peer-to-peer remittance and what they're able to do. This pool of money right here. And now this list right here, this isn't even all of them. This isn't even close to all of them. And when they say top 10, there are a few things that happened in the world here in the last year and a half. So again, if you're a Rona person, right, we know things have changed. El Salvador should be on this list. El Salvador should be right about right here. They are $20 billion a year in remittances. 20 billion, all right? And what's nuts about that is now Bitcoin is actually legal tender in El Salvador. So we're going to see how that Bitcoin experiment plays out in El Salvador. The problem though with Bitcoin is we all know the fees during peak times are nuts, and Bitcoin cannot handle scale like Stellar can. So if we see that El Salvador and the Bitcoin story is flowing and functioning well, that can only mean better things for those countries and societies that are going to choose Stellar, because Stellar is built for that high volume transaction, right? Bitcoin was not built for that. Bitcoin and Ethereum. If I have some Bitcoin and Ethereum lovers out there, I'm not ripping on Bitcoin or Ethereum. It's just when the technology was made, right? Its use system and its use structure. It's not meant to handle high volume transactions. I did a program not too long ago. Visa, right? Visa is a payment provider. I swear I read something that was ridiculous, like over 1,000 transactions a second Visa can handle without their network even having any sort of tapering of speed and functionality. I mean, we all know with Bitcoin, Ethereum, right? If it's peak times, you're going to pay a lot in gas fees. And these people, right? These people in these countries here, okay? These cash-based societies, they should not be paying those high fees. So again, that is where Stellar comes in. That is where their mission to bring digital banking, right? New current technology banking to these cash-based societies. All right, so what else do I got for you? We got 11 people currently in the house right now. I'm glad you're here. Glad you're joining us. Do you like the blue background color? I kind of dig it. I've got kind of like a little chroma thing going on right now with the colors. So throwing out, having some cool background, some cool fun. Let's do some housekeeping real quick. So if anyone who's watching this, if you could do me a huge favor. If you could go to the community tab right here on the page, trying to keep it updated, keeping it fresh, a lot of cool feedback here. I'm trying to get the interaction with the fans and find out what you like. Made some cool graphics here, right? If you're a creator, content, right? If you want to create content, hop in on this creator live stream. I'm doing it this weekend. It's a lot of fun, actually. A lot of behind the scenes on what goes on to the channel, what goes on into making the stuff here, and what are some of the common problems and I don't know, some of the fun things that happens on with being a content creator. But the main reason why I want you to check out the community tab is this vote right here, okay? This one right here, okay? And let's see if I can do this right. I'm going to do this. All right, that vote right there. You see that? I want this one. How often should I post videos? All right, that is what I'm looking at. How often should I post videos? Let me know. I'm really curious on that because, again, Stellar, it's a little bit different, okay? I don't know. Can you see that when I do it? Oh, you can't see that. It just whited out on the screen. What a bunch of crap. But yeah, with Stellar and so forth, what I really want to do, I want to make sure that I'm doing and matching your guys' needs out there. So if you could, please vote. How often should I post videos? Please do that. Let me know. All right, so let's get out of that. Let's catch up on Stellar pricing because this is one of the things that is bugging me, and this is why I sent out that short a couple days ago because I think we're all frustrated, okay? And so what I'm going to do, we're going to open up this comparison window right here, and you can already tell what I've been working on, but this is what I want to talk about, okay? Is I want to talk about this in the comparison to Bitcoin, all right? So if we blow it out from 1 month, okay? From 1 month ago, if you invested the same amount of money in Bitcoin and in Stellar, you would be down 4.5% on Stellar, while you would be up 28% with Bitcoin. All right. And Okay. All right, thanks, Kathy. I love it. Yep, that's right. All the friggin' time. You better believe it. All right, so yes, this is what I'm talking about here, and this is where our frustration comes. As you've seen, the stellar pattern right here, right? Stellar's in the blue, Blue Mountains, Bitcoin is in the green, unfilled line. If you look at this right here, look at that, right? Stellar, really, you can see it. The undulations, the curves, right? The peaks, the valleys, it's there, right? You're seeing it follow, but it's not following in the same intensity. Okay, so especially right here, right? If you look at this part right here, okay, so we're gonna tighten up just a little bit. All right, if we tighten up a little bit and we go just like a few weeks here, look at that again. Bitcoin outperforming 46% to Stellar's 36. You can see that as Bitcoin made this last push here, look at how much they accelerated in this last bit of news. And this last bit of news that you're seeing up here on the screen, this is when the SEC tweeted that they probably aren't going to get in the way of a BTC ETF future. All right. If you weren't hanging out with us on the live stream, this news actually broke while we were streaming live at night. Dude, it was late, man. It was really late. I think it was like 10, 11 o'clock at night or something like that. We were live streaming on a Saturday. And this came up, and I was like, holy crap, and it sent the market roaring, all right? But what bothered us, okay, for those of us that were watching on the channel as this was breaking out, what bothered us, though, was this right here, okay? I want you to look at this point right here and here. Stellar hit a high, and it could not hold it, right? We lost, it met that resistance point, and it pulled back. But Bitcoin kept rolling. Now, granted, Bitcoin pulled back just a little bit here recently, but you can see the difference, and this is why we all got upset. When that news broke, okay, when that news broke, we were expecting Stellar to pull more with Bitcoin, and this part right here, we were expecting this part right here. Instead of this inflection point down, we were looking at it going, say, wait a minute, why aren't we having the same inflection going up, okay? So, for any of you out there that have been wondering it, yes, we're all thinking the same thing, and that is the price of Stellar Lumens XLM being held down? Is it being manipulated? And I always hate using the word manipulated, but I mean, when you see stuff like this, okay, when you see Stellar Lumens and all their case studies, when you see their bonds, AirTM, MoneyGram, Visa, Tella, I mean, I could go on and on. Well, I have gone on and on because I made a darn channel about it, all right? But what we're seeing here is that, again, there is so much more news, infrastructure, base building. And yes, Albert Gonzalez, LumenSwap, LSP. Yep, you are right, sir. LSP increasing liquidity to the Lumens marketplace. LumenSwap. Thank you, Albert, for swinging in and saying hi. 15 people on the stream right now. If you missed the beginning of the stream, don't worry. I got your back. Once we're done with this stream, all right, I'm going to drop it in the live stream folder so that you can go back and watch it from the beginning. Also, too, there should be no commercials on this live stream. I want this live stream to be about us interacting, so I don't want you to worry about commercials and wasting that time. I want you to get right into the content and enjoy it. So again, if you are just joining in, please say hello. I've got my laptop system right here keyed in. I can text anything I want, message anything I want. I don't know. I guess everything. But yes, I can message it. So I've got a display here, and another one up here. So if you see my eyes everywhere, it's because I'm trying to cover all 3 screens at once to try to keep up with all the action. But yes, over the weekend on the live stream, the SEC news broke. And then we saw the inflection, but Stellar just didn't have that same oomph, okay? And now let's do this, okay? Let's try to, ooh, hey there, that wasn't funny. Let's do this. Let's go 5 days, all right? So let's go out to 1 month, and then let's blow it back up to 5 days. So we're going to do that. We're going to compare the two. We're going to compare Bitcoin and Stellar. So let's see here. Boy, Bitcoin, you ain't even going to be on the screen, are you? I don't think you are. Nope, you're not going to be on the screen because we're going to see that Stellar in that last 5 days had that inflection and Bitcoin had this. So this is where the frustration happens. So now you're wondering, how do you deal with this frustration? All right, let's liken it. Let's rewind just a little bit, and let's think of other things that we've seen where we thought that there was some pricing manipulation going on and how those things have played out. So the first one I want you to think about is inflation. All right, I want you to think about how the government has been suppressing inflation, right? We all know that it's out there. They've printed how much, right? They've printed how much money out there, so we know inflation's a key. We've seen the gas prices go up, housing prices, food, right? I went grocery shopping with my wife the other day. Yeah, we spent a good chunk of money and there was not that much in the cart. So we know that even things like inflation, right? Prices like gold and so forth, right? Your hard commodities are being screwed price-wise, right? And we've seen that. We've seen that happen before. What about those of you that were hanging out in the early 2000s? Do you remember when they were screwing with the oil prices? When we found out that because of speculation, right? Not because of supply and demand like we're all taught here, okay? But because of speculation, oil prices shot up to what, 100, 150 a barrel. Prices out by me per gallon were $5-6. So yes, market manipulation happens, and it happens in a variety of situations to keep the price at a certain point to allow for mechanics to happen. Whether it's right or wrong, I've gotten past the point of arguing that. I'm just trying to find ways to play the system and beat it. And the way that I found playing the system on this is I don't let the emotions get to me, okay? I Gordon Gekko it. So if you've all ever seen the movie Wall Street, right? Don't get emotional about stock. Don't get emotional about crypto either, okay? If you're thinking the price is being manipulated, remember, no matter what happens, you can't suppress fundamentals for that long. Sooner or later, in mass, investors rotate to fundamentals, okay? And I want you to think about that in terms of crypto as well. Once Bitcoin and Ethereum start reaching higher and higher ceilings, their potential rate of return is less, all right? When Bitcoin hits 60, all right, for you to double your money in Bitcoin, Bitcoin's got to get to 120,000. That is a huge, huge, huge steep hill you have to climb. But for Stellar Lumens, from the price point we're at right now, we've already seen they've already doubled this time before when they hit their all-time high, what, 94 cents, something like that. So I mean, you could see we could almost triple it and still have been in historical range, right? So what happens is these investors, right? They look at their Bitcoins and they look at their Ethereums. And also we got to talk about that grayscale trust, because that grayscale trust, right? The futures trading, and I've got it up here on the screen. That is GXLM, which is huge volatility, huge opportunities. Just throwing it out there. But yes, if you look at like the grayscale trust and so forth and what that's going to bring, investors are going to rotate, and they're going to rotate into more affordable opportunities, all right? We see this all the time in the equity markets when your big hitters, right, your Amazons, your Apples and all those, they're priced so high that people are like, hey, I can't get the returns I'm looking for. Let me start going to mid cap. Let me start going to small cap. And then once all those bubbles start getting filled, what happens is then people start rotating in more and more affordable options. And that's really how I think XLM is going to play out, right? There is going to be a time where investors as a whole believe in crypto. You got to remember, most of us watching this channel, no, you know what? If you're watching this channel, you probably are pro crypto at this point, right? If you're watching a live stream with me right now instead of working, or if you're sneaking it at work, or if you're at home hanging out, you probably like crypto. But a large chunk of the world out there doesn't believe in crypto. Talk to my parents about it, and they're like, what the hell are you talking about, Klaus? They're like, dude, you no clue, right? My wife, same thing. She's the same way about it, you know? So she understands it, but she doesn't have the same passion towards it that I do. My kids laugh at me. My kids are like, yeah, crypto this, crypto that, right? I mean, they see it more as like a meme thing rather than a utility token. So really important to see that, no, the public out there does not, as a whole, does not support crypto the same way that you and I do, right? We are bigger crypto supporters. So once that crypto adaptation happens, it is going to bring more and more buyers in. So Marquise jumps in and says, yep, Grayscale put it out there. Yes, Grayscale put it out there. And one thing, Marquise, right? This is what we got to look for. If you want to start having an extra metric, and this is for everyone else out there, but Marquise is Southside Pride, man. See, dude, check it out. I am still holding on to White Sox Southside Pride. I know they're eliminated. I know, but still. All right, Marquise and everyone else out there. If you want an extra metric to look at, I want you to look at this Grayscale Stellar Lumens Trust, right? The symbol GXLM traded on the OTC. And Kathy jumps in. I wish my mom would invest in crypto. All right, Kathy, but the thing is, though, is your mom's older than you. And all right, I'll use my mom as an example. And actually, you know what? I'll go back to that, Kathy, so give me 1 second. Let me finish off this thing with Marquise, and then I'll hop on with you. But Marquise, this is what you want to look at, all right? if you start looking at this, if you start looking at the volume, okay, and if you start coinciding this and comparing this to watch this, check this out, you're going to dig this, dude. So if you start looking at stuff like this, all right, and you start looking at XLM, once we get more history here, you are going to be able, all right, let's go like that. Maybe that'll work out. See if I can do one day. But yeah, it's a little janky now because, there we go. Now I've got it set. You could see, right, with Stellar Lumens, if you can find, right, once we get more data, it doesn't work good right now because we only have about 36 hours of data. But once this gets further, look at the correlation between XLM and the trust, okay? See if there's a correlation, right, or if there's a lag event, okay? So again, just a little bit of inside information here, okay? Just throwing it out there. I want you to think about this, okay? And again, this is not investment advice. This is just me kind of catching up on stuff and sharing it with the people that are watching, okay? So if you look at Bitcoin and we compare the two, all right, I want you to look at this. So there was this move here. Stellar always seems to be behind. So if the Bitcoin move right here happens first, look, it took a day and then the Stellar action happened, right? Bitcoin started going up here. Check it out. There was an opportunity with Lumens and then it went up, okay? So there is a little bit of a delay between Bitcoin and the other altcoins. So if you start charting between the Bitcoin and Stellar Lumens direct comparison, and then do one between Stellar Lumens Trust and the price of Stellar Lumens, you may be able to come up with a 3-tiered trading strategy. Just throwing it out there, okay? You don't have to do it. I'm just throwing it out there and I'm telling you what I'm doing. But okay, Kathy, let's get back to what you said. Kathy said, I wish my mom would invest in crypto. All right, Kathy, this is how we got to look at it. Our parents, and I don't know if you're close to me in age, I am 41 years old, 41 years young. My wife says I'm one of her kids, so she always is like, yeah, you're just the big kid. But all right, I want you to think of our parents, all right? My parents right now are in their 70s. Right now, they are in that retirement phase. Crypto is too risky. It is too risky for them at that point to have their nest egg in something that could go up 30% or drop 30%. Okay, so when it comes to like our parents, you got to remember the older you get, the less volatile and the less risky you want your portfolio to be. All right, so you're 56, your mom's 76, dude. See, so you fall in that same category as me, okay? Our parents that are in their 70s, they got to get, and again, this is just my opinion, okay? But you don't want them in stuff that A, they don't understand, because that's scary, right? Imagine how would you feel putting your money into something you don't understand? Right? And for the older generation out there, they are really struggling with crypto and blockchain technology. For our generation, Kathy, it's the same thing, right? Our generation doesn't fully understand crypto and blockchain. They just think it's coins, tokens. They just don't understand the whole concept, right? They almost kind of think it's like, you know, a little bit of Chuck E. Cheese action, right? Y'all remember Chuck E. Cheese, right? But yeah, that is what it is. So if it comes to like convincing people of crypto, just don't do it. Let them believe in it. I look at it this way. I will share articles and stuff with my family. The El Salvador Bitcoin thing I shared with them a lot because that's a social thing that I believed in with crypto and Bitcoin. But like with your mom and investing, remember, your mom is at 76. You don't want her to wake up one day, check out the smartphone. That's if she's checking the smartphone. Now, I'll admit, my mom's on the smartphone phase, and my mom is in her mid-70s, so shout out to moms and grandmas out there that are smartphone tech savvy. But yeah, if my mom were to all of a sudden wake up one day and see that her portfolio was down 20-30%, or that her, you know, her retirement nest egg, or a chunk of her retirement nest egg was down 30-40%, she'd freak. She would freak the F out and panic would set in. So we have to really be very cautious, Kathy. We have to make sure that when we're looking at crypto, does it fit our needs, okay? And I'll give you an example. And before I give you an example, let me say hi to everyone. Hello to everyone out there. If you're joining the live stream just now, don't worry. The live stream, it's going to be put in the live stream folder. So if you missed the beginning, you can go back. You can hang out with us, rewind it, and all that cool stuff. If you have a question, if you have a comment, hit me up in the comment section. I've got my dashboard over right here that I'm typing on. So if you see me looking this way, it's because my dashboard is over there. My main display right here, and my my tertiary display up here. So if you see me looking around, I'm just trying to keep up with all the comments and all the feeds I have on the multiple monitors. Pretty freaking cool. I love it. But let's go back to that. All right, Kathy, and let's talk again about like your portfolios, investing, and risk, okay? So right now, okay, at age 56, at age 41, like myself, I still have some opportunity, okay? My investment runway, okay? And my investment runway is my plan, right? How long do I have to reach X goal, okay? For me, my crypto portfolios, okay? My crypto portfolios are based right now, I have about a 2 and 3/4 year window of where I'm looking to maximize my profitability and gains, right? I'm looking to capitalize within that window so I can hold. I cannot see that money for 2 years and I could care less what the heck happens to it. I don't need that money. That is my investment portfolio for my future. The reason for me it's a 2.5 year thing is that is when my youngest kid graduates from high school and my wife and I get to decide whatever the F we want to do in life, we will do. So for us, right, we can take more risky exposure to crypto because my wife and I are both younger and we have a good amount of investing time left over, okay? So trading, it goes in 2 different ways, right? We have our traders and we have our investors. I do both. I trade and I invest. For me, Stellar is an investment opportunity. It is a long term. Now, granted, at the 2.5 year mark for myself, if all my other investments are doing good, I'm just going to let Stellar percolate and just grow, grow, and grow. So again, it all depends on where you're at in life, what your risk tolerance is, and what you're able to afford. Because remember, investing should be something that does not bend you over a barrel, right? You shouldn't be investing so crazy hard that you're screwed with everything else. No, investing is what's helping you plan for the future so that you can screw around and have fun when you get older. Or when you decide to pull the plug on work and say, screw it, I want to hang out more with my kids. I want to hang out more with my spouse or, my parents and so forth. So just something out there for you, Kathy. Hopefully that explained it a little bit better for you on how I view crypto and like how we should tackle it with our parents. So Kathy, thank you for chiming in. I like that. All right, so let's go over really quick here. More people have hopped in and I have a dog who's bugging me right here. Hi, sweetheart. Hi, you want to come up? Yeah. Oh, hi, baby. Oh, okay. All right, get down, sweetheart. All right, get down, baby. All right. So yes, if you could, and no, don't hit my monitors. If you could, hey, get down, go. All right, if you could, go on the community tab, please. Check it out. We are super active on the community tab. The main reason why I want to tell people about the community tab is 2 things. If you ever see Pimpin' Peter Griffin, that means I'm talking live stream. That means I'm talking behind the scenes of stuff like this, behind the scenes of the channel, creating the thumbs, the storyboards, and so forth. And Kathy, you're welcome. I'm actually going to type that out because you know what? I totally believe in what people are doing with crypto, and I love the fans. But yeah, so if you see Pimpin' Peter G right here, we're talking live stream. We're talking behind the scenes live stream, right? We're talking what kind of money do you make? Do you make money, right, with YouTube? What are some of the hurdles getting involved? Anything content creator background wise, that's what these live streams cover. And it's made for people that are content creators right now, or people that would like to be, or people that are just curious about really what are behind the scenes. You guys know as well as anyone, I don't BS stuff. I will cut it to you straight. Oh, and I put your, but I didn't say welcome. Wow, thanks. Sorry about that, Kathy. So yeah, the main reason why I want you guys to go out here, and if you could, how often should I post videos? Go on here, post a comment, let me know your feedback, thoughts on the channel, and also vote on how often should I be posting videos. Okay, so now the big thing that I want to talk about though, all right, is I want to talk about Stellar and Moneygram because I think that's what most of us want to know. What is going to happen with Stellar and Moneygram, okay? So let's first use our White Sox mug, cup of water here to keep my throat rolling. Perfect. All right, so let's talk about Moneygram and Stellar. And let's talk about the opportunities. Okay, so first things first, remember, Moneygram is one of the largest mechanisms out there to move money from place to place, person to person. Anyone that's used Moneygram knows it is expensive. It is slow. It is also a very, very easy way to launder money and purchase things that you really shouldn't. And that has actually tainted Moneygram and Western Union's image for quite some time now. But we're not going to talk about any of the dark web stuff. We're not going to talk about any of the naughty stuff that use these payment services for. We're going to talk about remittances, and we're going to talk about what's been happening to Moneygram and why this is huge, okay? So let's look. We have Moneygrams Financials up here on the screen right now, okay? And we're going to start off with 2017 on MoneyGram. So you can see their revenue, okay, which is the blue bar right here. Their revenue over the last 4 years has been shrinking. Now, wait a minute. Yep, I think you guys know, and if you watch this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. These remittances, look at most of them, have been increasing. So if those have been increasing and MoneyGram's revenue is decreasing, that's right. That means MoneyGram as a provider is being skipped over for other people out there because other people are using crypto. Yes, they're using crypto to send money, not your traditional ACH services. Okay, so I think you're kind of seeing where I'm getting at with this. All right, so like I said, blue bar is the revenue for MoneyGram. Over the last 4 years, revenue has gone from 1.6 billion to 1.2 billion, okay? So 0.4 billion off of 1.6, that means they have lost 25% of their revenue in the last 4 years. And that is because people do not, I repeat, they are getting tired of paying these fees, and they do not want to pay these fees, and they don't want to wait the time it takes. And MoneyGram Western Union has some reputation issues too. So yeah, when you look at that, that is where Stellar comes into play. Now let's go a little bit deeper though, okay, into MoneyGram. So now if you look at their income, right, what their net income is, their net income is going to be the dark blue. Okay, so they lost 28 million, they lost 24 million, okay, they lost 60 million, okay, they lost 8 million. So they're losing money year over year with sales going down. And now, okay, profit margin wise, you're like, well, yeah, but dude, profit margins are up, man. Profit margins, Klaus, you got to be fair. Come on, man. You don't think I knew what I'm talking about? Profit margins, check this out. Yes, profit margins are up, but guess what? They are still loss. They are still losses. Check it out. Profit margin, negative 1.8, negative 1.66, negative 4.690. They should have fired the whole staff in 2019. Like, if that was a company that I was part of with financials, I would have axed all of them people in 2019. And then if you look at it right here, again, still negative in the profit margin, okay? So I want you to think of Western Union, right? Sales revenue going down. More people are using remittances, but their sales are going down, which means the market is going somewhere else, okay? So now how will this help Stellar? How will this help MoneyGram, okay? As I see it, as I see how this bond could work, is if Stellar were to install wallet services at each location, they could utilize brick and mortar establishments, have a Stellar wallet, and use that to transfer from location to location. So let's work this through on a practical point. All right, you guys are going to love this. So I am an investor, right? Actually, not an investor. I'm a remittance person. So I come into Western Union, and I'm like, hello, I would love to send money to my family. And they're like, well, hey, you have two different ways to do it. You could do it the traditional way where you pay 10% fees, or you could use STELLAR LUMENS XLM, and the fees would be less than a penny, and the money would get to them in 4 to 5 seconds. Do you like that pajama shot, Sheen? Do you like that, dude? Yeah, still my pajama pants. How do you like that? That's real behind the scenes right there. But yes, that is how I see it playing out. I see it playing out where people are going to be able to use brick and mortar locations and be able to opt for a crypto transfer, right? So that would still mean you would have to come in, you would still have to give cash, right? And we talked about cash-based societies. You would come in, you would give them cash, they would then transfer that cash, and my guess would be USDC, or it could be native token XLM. Hard to tell with how they would do it, and the only reason is because they would have to make sure that they could then on the back end transfer that crypto into the native currency. All right, so it would just be a logistical base. But yeah, someone would come in, they would give them money, the money would then be turned into crypto, so I'm sure there would be a small fee involved, and then it would be sent. We already know that the Lumens transfer fee is like not even a penny. And then it would get to the end user, which then they would probably have to do like a second reverse, or they would just keep it cloned in terms of a one-to-one value on them sending the money out. So that being said, that is how we could see MoneyGram and STELLAR Lumens working together. All right, Stellar having that remittance quick chain of sending stuff out, MoneyGram having the brick and mortar locations. Okay, so for Kathy, if you're still here, right, this ties into exactly what you were saying, Kathy, is that people that are afraid of crypto, they're going to go to MoneyGram and they're going to be like, hey, I want to send money back home People are going to be like, well, you could use the crypto option or you could use the traditional ACH option. A lot of people that are scared of crypto, they're going to be like, well, I'll just use the traditional option until they see the fees and they see that the $200 that they went to send home, wait a minute, after $200 after fees, my family's only getting $180. Like, that's it? Like, $20 goes to you just for sending money, which I know with Lumens I could do in like seconds, and it costs a fraction of a penny. Yep. I think that's where you're going to see it, right? You're going to see those consumers that are usual brick and mortar fans start getting exposed to crypto, because what I want to do is I want to start going into MoneyGram locations, start seeing if I start seeing something on XLM. Go on their website, start seeing something. Thank you, Kathy, for still hanging out with us, so hopefully this one makes sense for you. But yeah, so you get those brick and mortar locations, you get more people involved with crypto, and you get people used to the idea of sending money via crypto path rather than a traditional banking path, all right? In the history of our country, right, in the history of the United States, in the history of Europe too, okay, banks have always fought reputations, and banking has always fought troubled reputations, okay? My grandparents, all right, did not believe in banks. They would hide cash in books, magazines, you name it. And I kid you not, books and magazines. My mom and my aunt were cleaning out my grandparents' house. Life insurance policy paperwork was stuffed in a book or a magazine. I'm like, dude, so that's the generation, okay? There are generations out there that don't believe in crypto. There are generations out there that don't believe even in traditional brick and mortar banking. Right? So the mission is not only to make it where it's affordable to transfer money, safe and secure, but it's also to get people to believe in blockchain technology. And I think that's where the biggest transition, right? The biggest upside that all of us have as Stellar Lumens investors is once that population bubble starts believing more and more and more into crypto. All right, so hopefully that explains it to you out there. And hello to anyone who is joining us. We have 11 people in the house watching the stream. Thank you for coming in. If you're watching, hang out, drop a comment. Yep, drop a comment, you know, in the chat. Let me know. Say hello, say hi, ask a question. Say whatever, ask whatever you want. I'm cool with it. I don't mind. Yep, let me know in the comments that you're hanging out with us. We are talking all things Stellar today. Love it. Love the project. Super excited. Just extremely interesting. So now let's go back to remittances and let's talk about transactions, okay? Because the real benefit to the Stellar Lumens investor out there is as scale happens, okay? I want you to think of if everyone used Stellar to transfer money instead of their debit card, all right? All those transactions, all those fees, how that would build up in scale, okay? And that's where we have to see that crypto infrastructure be built first. Yeah, we've heard that phrase before, haven't we? If any of you out there are EV people or EV fans, and you're sitting here going, how are they going to do just EV by 2035? How are they going to do just EV by 2030? They're going to have to build the EV infrastructure. Right? They're going to have to build the EV infrastructure so that people that are into EVs, yep, they're going to be able to, guess what, quick charge their cars. So it's not just a logistics thing of, hey, are there stations close to me, but can you at least charge my car faster so it's worth my time? Yep, think about that, okay? So that infrastructure with EVs, right? That infrastructure problem that's holding a lot of investors out, because there's a lot of people that aren't getting into the EV investments, and they're not getting in because the infrastructure is not there, right? They don't want the EV thing mandates to launch and then to stumble because we don't have the stations in play. That same infrastructure fear is what people were looking at with crypto. The big difference, though, is with things like LumenSwap, automated market makers, the nodes on Stellar, okay? With all of that good stuff, Stellar is already building the blocks for scale, all right? So once more of the people in these countries start believing more in crypto, because remember, they don't even believe in traditional banking yet. These are your cash-based societies up here, right? Once they start believing in crypto, once they start having good, positive things, that is when you are going to see crypto adaptability and the scale actually bloom and blossom, all right? So always keep a look at this. And one of the other things I wanted to show you was this. Record high remittances sent globally in 2018. All right, so now this is for the world, all right? So if you really want to know what kind of opportunities Stellar has out there, I want you to listen to some of these numbers, all right? Check it out. The bank estimates that officially recorded annual remittance flows from low and middle income countries, you ready, reached $529 billion, an increase of almost 10%. So think about that, right? 529 billion in remittances. Okay, so now let's talk about high income countries, okay? So global remittances, which includes flows to high income countries, reached $689 billion. So again, what did we learn? We learned that remittances, the fees that they charge, right, from your MoneyGram people, okay, from your Western Union, the fees that they charge on average are 10%. So if you look at this number right here, reached 689 billion. 10% of that, 68, so pretty much $69 billion was eaten up in fees in 1 year. So I want you to combine that, right? Because remember, that's just high income countries. I want you to combine that now with the 529 billion, all right? So let's just do some mental math, right? So let's just say this is 1.2 trillion, right? Let's just add these two together and we'll come up with 1.2 trillion, right? Just a little, I mean, there's going to be a carryover, whatever, but 1.2 trillion. So 10% of that means 120 billion. 100. Yep, if you are watching this, don't let this knock you off your chair. This is nuts. $120 billion was sent to companies, right? Like MoneyGram, Western Union, as fees. That is 120 billion that did not make it into the pockets of low income families where they're remittance based out there. So for stellar opportunities for you Stellar fans out there, there is a $120 billion pool of money that is just waiting to be captured, okay? So that is where scale comes into play, and that is where Stellar Lumens XLM comes into play. Thanks, guys, for watching. Thanks for all the support. I'm still rolling here. Hopefully you are enjoying the content. Again, if you have any questions, comments, anything like that, hit me up in the chats. I am going to be doing another live stream today. The second live stream today is going to be at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to try to finish it before my wife gets home so that I can give her my undivided attention when she gets home from work, right? Trying to win husband of the year. But yep, that's what we got. And yes, Kathy, you are totally welcome, ma'am. Thank you so much for your comments, Kathy. It's the support and comments from fans like yourself that make this channel fun, that make it to where I love doing this stuff almost like every day, right? It's really cool. So Kathy, it's actually me thanking you, but I'll say you're welcome because it's the polite thing to do. But no, Kathy, seriously, the thanks comes from me to you. So yes, $120 billion is available out there for remittances. 120 billion is out there. So stellar scale, that's what we need to look at. And that is what keeps me bullish and motivated about the future of XLM. So now, one of the things I like to do, and again, if you join the other live streams, you're going to love this kind of stuff, but I like to give everyone backgrounds on where do you find information at, okay? One of the best sites you can go to, and I will type it in up here, so we're doing it live. It is newsnow.com, okay? They are independent, okay? They do a whole bunch of articles from a whole bunch of different publications, and what their premise is, and I'm not sponsored by them, if I was sponsored by them, that'd be pretty freaking cool. But what they try to do is they try to re-roll stories within 15 minutes of launching into one platform so you don't have to search a multitude of platforms. So if you go to newsnow.com, you type in Stellar at the top, make sure you go to businesses and cryptocurrencies, click on that, and you will find, yes, all the juicy Stellar news. Grayscale takes Stellar XLM to top tier. Stellar Lumens can't trade long at this ideal entry point. That was basically the pressure cooker video that I was talking about. And Stellar XLM won't face the same legal issues as Ripple did. Yep, lots of juicy content. And Marquise still here hanging out with us. Marquise, are you working today, dude? Just kind of curious. Actually, no, you should be probably pretty close to lunch right now, right? I mean, you should be really close to lunch, or you started an early lunch. But Marquise, glad you're here. Shout out to the Englewood fans. Southside Pride. South side till I die, that's how I get down. All right. That was pretty cool, eh? So yes, check out this. Newsnow.com has all the good, juicy news regarding Stellar Lumens XLM. You can sort it by day, but you can also sort it by what their most read and popular stories are. These are the big stories that I love reading about and that I love bringing to you guys here. One of the best stories that I had read recently, and again, it's because the bullish news is popping out, and we haven't heard this with XLM that often. So when you go up here, we're going to go to Immersive Reader just so I can hang out a little bit easier and see this, is exactly this. This article here is talking about all the pressures and the technicals that are happening and the pressures that are building up. On the live stream we had over the weekend, we had a fan sent in a chart with a squeeze on it, right? They had a cloud squeeze. It was a really cool trading view chart. He sent it to me, emailed it to me, I put it up on the screen. More and more people are seeing this, okay? They are totally seeing these technicals point out to some futures. So if you're into those kind of articles, yes, go on newsnow.com, or hey, just watch the channel and I will disseminate it and break it down for you and make it into something fun and awesome to watch. And again, we've got new people. All right, here we go. Marquise hopping in. Yes, I'm off today. Me and the wife are having lunch right now and I'm listening to you. I was wondering, how do you feel about the ETF that was recently released by Backit? Who is the one that was released by Backit? That one I'm not too familiar with. And where are you guys out having lunch right now? Like Rick and Benny's or George's or anything like that? But yeah, let me know who that Backit ETF. I haven't looked at that, and again, I try to keep up with everything. If I don't, I do apologize. But yeah, let me know who that is. Glad you're listening to us, but dude, you should probably pay attention to the wife and not attention to me, because I mean, like, you'll probably get in more trouble if you don't pay attention to the wife versus not paying attention to me. So just kind of keep that in play, dude. If you've got me on your phone, like, I don't know, like maybe like earbud it or something like that, and like earbud it on this side so she sees you this way so she doesn't see the earbud in. So just a thought. I mean, like, maybe I shouldn't say that because maybe she watches this live stream. But yeah, for those of you that are watching, hello, hang out with us. Drop a comment in the chats. We are talking all things Stellar, having a ball. And again, we're going to be doing a second live stream at 5 o'clock today. Oh, he's hanging out in the house. All right, well, then you're not in trouble, dude. I was like, if you're out at a restaurant, man, and you're hanging out, and you're sitting there, and you're listening to me instead of paying attention to your wife, you are going to have some bigger problems than any XLM pricing pressure out there. All right, some of the other things that we talked about, too, was this Grayscale Trust, okay? This Grayscale Stellar Lumens Trust, all right? And where do you find out about stuff like that? Oh, I don't know, by clicking on articles at newsnow.com. Yes, pretty freaking cool. All right, same thing, all right? So this is this article, right? Grayscale Trust, yada, yada. Let's click on this, go to Immersive Reader because it's cleaner that way. This talks about Grayscale Trust and the launch of it. So now if we look at pricing, okay, pricing started off, I think, what was it, 65, right? Pricing started off at 65. We've seen it already hit up to that 95 mark, and it has been bouncing back and forth. Now, this is super, super early in the inception of this trust. I mean, super early. I think we're at we're not even at 36 hours of trading data. Yeah, we're way less than that. We're just past the 24-hour mark, actually. Yeah, we're probably sub-30s right now as we're recording this one. But what I'm keeping track of, it's going to be the volume right here. I want to see what happens over time, the volume of this trust, okay? If you look at the volume bars, right, look at this big one right here, 3.45 thousand, right? That's not big volume, okay? We need to see some bigger numbers, and we need to see where this stabilizes out. If there's anyone out there that trades this stuff, let me know. I'd be very curious to see how people are looking at this, if they're going to be looking at getting into the Stellar Lumens Trust, GXLM, for any of you watching out there. Also, too, what do you think of the colored background, right? Pretty neat. That is... This is actual real. There is no alterations on what's behind me. This is me. This is not like a drop background. These are actually colors that I'm infusing with my light system that I got. So if you dig the background, if you dig the graphics, I've been really busting it hard lately to really improve the visuals and improve the overall experience for the fans out there. Other chunks of news that you can find out about Stellar, use their Twitter account, okay? And again, big news on their Twitter account is, remember, Protocol 18, right? The vote for Protocol 18 is November 3rd. Okay, again, keep that in mind. Protocol vote for Protocol 18 is November 3rd. Trading opportunities can possibly be found around that date because the volatility regarding Protocol 18 and protocol votes is usually pretty high. All right, go back to go back to historical data and you will see exactly that. All right, so the big news that has propelled us now is Grayscale launching this trust, and Grayscale wasted no time, right? As soon as the SEC said, hey, we are probably not going to get involved, Grayscale launched 3 different trusts, with the XLM trust being one of them. This trust, okay, all right, I invest in ICE, which owns, very cool. See, so you're fairly diversified too. I'm fairly diversified as well, everything from commodities, whether it's e-commodities or actually physical commodities as well. Precious metals, crypto. I am big on inflationary hedges, as well as banks. I do a lot of banking stuff, a lot of EV stuff, and energy sector too. So, and the best dividend payouts have been utilities. So that kind of lets you know kind of where I start kind of rolling into that. But yes, so this Grayscale trust that they've launched, I don't know if the trust itself, right, the mechanics of the trust, I'm talking about physical mechanics of the trust, I don't think I'm going to see, or that we're going to see that trust mechanically move the market. But what I think it's going to act as a bigger vehicle is awareness to the market, right? Grayscale is already the top tier crypto investment place out there, right? Grayscale has been on the forefront of crypto investing, all right? They start this. This makes me wonder if then with the SEC giving the wink, wink, nudge, nudge and moving forward, if you're going to see more companies out there including funds like this or starting their own futures ETFs and so forth. That is where I think the true power of this comes into play. It's not the mechanics, right? The mechanics. It's not this. And by the mechanics, I'm talking about this, the push-pull leverage of buy and sell. I don't think the volume of this unless something goes totally crazy, the volume of this is in no way, right, going to really heavily affect the price directly of Lumens XLM. They're not going to have enough pull, right? There's so much lumens in circulation. That's something that tugs and tethers and ties into it. It doesn't work that way. It just does not work that way. But what this will do is increase knowledge and increase use and increase information of Stellar Lumens XLM. Because what will happen is this. You're going to have people that are going to look at this and they're going to say, okay, Grayscale, Stellar Lumens, Trust, XLM. And then they're going to be like, well, why don't I just buy the native XLM? And that's where I was talking about earlier. We're value-based propositions in trading, right? Once someone sees, hey, wait a minute, this is too rich for my blood, they're going to rotate into the next option that is closely matches that original option. That is where I could see people going, hey, I've looked at this, I've looked at the volatility, I've looked at the pricing, I've looked at the profitability, I've looked at what I can get out of it. It's a little too rich for my blood, or I don't see the upside that I would see if I were to invest in the native token itself, okay? That is where I believe that I think I'm going to see Stellar Lumens itself separate itself. I really do. I think this is where you're going to see it, because you're going to see places look at this. You're going to see places look at Grayscale. You're going to see them starting off with Bitcoin ETFs, right? Rolling futures. You're going to start seeing squeezes happen, because think, when you have now an ETF future, you've got the opportunity of short squeezes. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, so now we could start introducing short squeeze mechanics to the equation. Now, a few things have to happen first in terms of a futures market, okay? But could you see how cool that would be? Making money going both ways with XLM. Just throwing it out there. Not that you have to do it, but it's just something to think about in the future, right? You can make money both ways. But yes, Grayscale bringing the OTC Stellar XLM fund was big on more of a marketing scheme than it was a price action scheme, okay? So for all of us out there watching, this is another building block piece, right? This is another piece that builds that story. All right, so JFF chimes in, guys, what is happening to XLM? If you're referring to pricing pressure wise, here's what I can tell you is that Here we go. Is this clean enough for you guys? Is this cool? Yeah, I think this gives us a pretty good amount right here. There we go. Now we let it drop. Okay. So if you're talking about, and what's up, JFF? All right. So what is happening? It's pressure, right? I mean, if you look at what's happening, we've seen this every time, even here on the left-hand side of the screen. Every time it's run up, it never holds that sustainability. It just does not sustain its price action, and it corrects. Now, that being said, its correction recently has not been bad. But from right here, right, this 40-cent drop to 38, you're talking about a 5% drop. A 5% drop in crypto doesn't even set anyone's radar. It doesn't even set anyone's alarms off. It really doesn't. When we start talking about 10, 15, 20%, that's when we start going, okay, we're starting to pay attention to it. When we go to the 20, 30, 40%, then we're like, okay, that's a market correction. So what is happening with Stellar Lumens XLM? It's pretty easy. It's being left behind as people focus on Bitcoin. And what they don't realize, though, is that the fees and the transfer time associated with Bitcoin is subpar compared to Stellar Lumens XLM. But since Bitcoin is in the news, right, since Bitcoin is a household name now, right, I mean, you could go to anywhere and you could say Bitcoin and people know exactly what you are talking about. I'm in Vegas. We had Bitcoin ATMs all over the place, right? So that is what the thing is, right? It is people are more familiar with Bitcoin. So JFF, if you're asking what's happening to XLM, it's simple, right? XLM pops on the flash news, but it never sustains that pop. Why? Because people take their profits out as soon as that pop happens. And that's when you see these big, near instantaneous drops. People just selling, clipping profits, mass dumps all at one time. You could see it with the volume tied in right here. Check out this volume bump right here on the bottom that tied into this drop. Same thing, volume bump right here with these drops. This is how Stellar Lumens XLM has been trading, exactly like this. So let's clean this up right now. Let's make this 1 day. Let's go to 1 month. And you can see, right, again, we've never seen that consistent path. So if you go to even the 6-month time period, right, the flash crashes, okay? That's what we have to look about. So what's been happening to XLM? It's been the same thing that we have seen. And that's why I'm getting big on why Stellar's building the floor, because I'm looking past all this crap. I'm looking past the volatility. I'm looking past all that. It's garbage. It's crap. JFF chimes in. Will it continue to go up? I mean, it depends, dude, right? I mean, anything can happen, right? Anything can happen tomorrow. But for me, the reality is, JFF, I am into this for a long haul. All right. My hold right now is like 2.5, 2 3/4 years. At the minimum, I can hold out for that long. It's not a big deal for me. So when I look at this going overall, yeah. It's still continuing a bullish trend. Could it hold any of this 0.74 that we saw earlier this year? No. But what we're also seeing, though, is that the programs of Stellar are building the base better, and better. That was horrible English. The base that's being built with Stellar is getting better and better. So will it go up? You know, I do believe it will go up, but the reality is, though, is with Bitcoin raising in price, if Bitcoin has a correction, we all know what's going to happen with Stellar Lumens. Just throwing it out there. We all know Bitcoin will take the whole market with it. So in terms of it going up, I am still looking at it as entry and buying opportunities. For me, JFF, I am sub 30. That is it, sub 30, okay? So here we go. In my trading, okay? This is how I'm running XLM in my investment portfolio, okay? So this is just me. Take your own, take it with a grain of salt. Do it how you want. I am only buying lumens sub 30 cents. That is it. I am not buying lumens, anything else. It is only sub 30 cents. So when you look at this, right, this dark line right here is sub 30. That means during this time period, right, from mid-June to the beginning of August, I was buying continuously, just buy. And again, I had another opportunity right here, the end of September, right, where I was just buy. Now, the times like this, right, the times like mid-August where it was above 30 cents, the times like here, May and June where it was above 30, any money that I would have spent on lumens. Let's just, easy math, all right? Let's just say every week my goal is to buy $100 of lumens, all right? So that would mean during all these time periods right here where it was above 30 cents, every week that 100 would roll in. Then my budget would be 200, then 300, and 400, 500. And it would just keep building up to the point where once it hit that 30, sub 30, I would execute on the funds that I had built up and go back to my regular acquisition schedule. So in terms of it going up, I'm not focused too much on the going up metric right now because my window is so far out there. What I'm really focusing on, though, is can I keep lowering my average down, and can I keep buying sub 30? As of right now, I'm telling you this as of right now, and again, this is my opinion. As of right now, I will not touch lumens, and I will not raise my buy entry point above 30. I will not do it yet. I am still seeing the potential for opportunities at sub 30. Now, that being said, if I'm building up money here, and over the next couple months, I just bought it by now. If I'm sitting here, okay, so I have not bought much in lumens, okay, since October, because the price has pretty much been above 30. So now I've got 3 weeks of funds, okay, that I have built up, that I am getting ready, okay, to purchase the next time there is a correction. I have some automatic orders in place so that if there's ever anything crazy that happens with Bitcoin and it pulls down the rest of the crypto market, I've got my orders right there and I'm good to go. And for me, as long as I can keep that investment window under 30 cents JDD, for me, I think the value is there. All right. So now, as I play through this, right, if I'm just accumulating under that 30 and my window to cash out, okay, my window to cash out at the earliest is like 2.5 years. Now, if something crazy happens market-wise, right, like if it shoots up to some crazy astronomical amount, you know, $10 a coin, which, okay, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but let's just pretend it does. Yeah, I got to really take some profits. Definitely got to take some profits, because that gets me to the financial goal that I'm looking for. But for me, it's really a time function, okay? And that's what you have to ask yourself, JFF. What is your time function? Well, almost said that bad, right? How long do you want to hold for? How much are you willing to invest? And what are your goals for returns, right? Do you want to make 10%? Do you want to make your money in Stellar January 1st, all right? January 1st, if you would have invested your money in Stellar, you would be up 183%. There were times where you were up 450%. But as of right now, if you would invest in January 1st in Stellar, you would be up 183%. Who out there would be upset if you invested January 1st in something and 10.5 months later you're up 183%? I think we would all drop some big nest eggs into that basket and cash out on those returns. Now, on the flip side, look at Bitcoin, okay? Since the beginning of the year, Bitcoin, right, which is in green right here, is only up 114%, okay? So, yes, even though Stellar has been a laggard as of late, yes, Stellar has been a laggard, a huge laggard ever since this market correction here in May, okay? This is where Stellar has been a laggard since that point. That being said, though, there is more upside, right? There's more value-based upside with Stellar. There's also more case use with Stellar because of all the different programs, right? All their investments in AirTM, all the stuff with Grayscale, all the stuff with remittances and how they're tackling it. All the Stellar news has been a huge reason why I believe that there is still way more upside left. And that's why I'm not worried about it, right? I'm not worried about these crashes. I'm used to it. It's something that happens now with us. So JFF, that's how I view it. I'm accumulating sub 30. My target is based in time, and it is also going to be based in a monetary goal. I have it in my head. I don't want to release it right now because that's my own personal goal. But that is how I am tackling it. I'm buying at sub 30, automatic orders set up, ready to roll. So if anything were ever to happen to Bitcoin, I am going to cash in. So if you think about it now, right, with it sub 30, I'm up a decent amount. I'm up a decent amount because I bought a whole bunch when it was well below, like when it was in its 20s and so forth. So 20s and teens. So I mean, my average is pretty good, but my new buy target now is sub 30. So hopefully that helps you out. So we've got 11 people on the stream right now. Hello to all of you out there watching. If you could, because I don't know who's been watching, go to the community tab. Yep, go to the community tab of the page. Super active, super fun. The main one I want you to do is vote on this, right? As I chill outside, replying to comments, curiosity struck me. Yes, how often should I post videos? Comment, post, vote, let me know what you think. Do you like the daily format? Do you want it even more than daily? I mean, like, you guys let me know every couple of days. Let me know, put the votes in. The other thing, too, is if you ever see Pimpin' Peter Griffin, that is the sign that we are doing a behind the scenes creator live stream. Yep. If you want to know anything about creating content on YouTube, if you want to know about the business aspect of it, the trials, tribulations, what it takes, the technicals of it, and if it's something that you're interested, right? If you are a creator, or if you want to be a creator, or heck, if you're just curious about what happens in the background, this is the live stream for you. So if you see Pimpin' Peter Griffin, that is our live stream. And again, please say hello when you come in. Comment it in the chats. Let me know who's here. Let me know who's hanging out with us. We are talking all things stellar today. And the big one has been MoneyGram. The big one has been Visa and Tala. The other big one has been, the Stellar Lumens Grayscale Trust. Which, check this out, we can see some pricing correction action. And again, if you missed the earlier part of the stream, don't worry. All the streams are going to be in the live stream folder, so you are welcome to go back and watch it. And all these streams should be brought to you commercial free, because I don't want you to spend your time watching ads. I would rather you spend your time learning about Stellar Lumens and hanging out with us on the channel. So yes, big news, Grayscale Trust. Seeing some pricing correction, high of 95, dropping back down to 67. Check out the volume marks here, right? Again, starting to see bigger volume marks, seeing to see a little bit more liquidity showing up, right? Kind of cool to see the liquidity showing up. So, yep, that is what we got going on. You know, we've been hanging out now. I don't know how long we've been going on. Let's check out the OBS live stream. Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, we've been hanging out for quite a bit. 1 hour, 20 minutes. Really neat stuff to see. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut it down now, unless you guys want to stop me. Keep me going. Comment, let me know, and I'll keep going. I just want to make sure, though, that I do have enough time to tackle the rest of the stuff I need to for the day. But I also have another live stream tonight at 5 o'clock, right? 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are going to be talking more things Stellar Lumens XLM. So, I think that's what I do. I think we're going to cut it off for now. It has been a blast. This has been an hour and 20 minutes of live stream fun, commercial free, brought to you by the host with the most. I am Klaus, Family Hobbies and Cards. If you missed out on this live stream and you're just joining us now, hop on in at 5 p.m. tonight. I would greatly appreciate it. Love the comments, love the support. So Klaus, Family Hobbies and Cards, I will catch you